A.J. Winfrey-Glende is an accomplished author and creator known for his expertise in language, learning and motivation. With the publication of his book, Bilingual Secrets, A.J. has become a trusted source for unlocking the secrets of bilingualism. Additionally, his online course, Bilingual Secrets with A.J., has empowered countless individuals to embark on their language learning journey with passion and determination. And A.J. is on the line with us here. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm just happy to be here. Happy to, share my knowledge and expertise with you guys today, with your listeners.
So what was it that inspired you to write your book and create your course about being bilingual?
Well, the book can be found on bilingualsecrets.com on Amazon. And, I live in the United States and there's so many people that only speak English, but there's so many people out here that want to learn a second language. And I felt that, hey, I know two other languages, Spanish and Portuguese. So, might as well help them out. And the second one with the course, it's on ajtutor.com. You can find out the course. I just wanted to motivate people more in depth and let them get the opportunity to see me and listen to my story, more and just find out who I am and see that if I can do it, then they can do it. And, and that's what led me to do that.
The motivation is important, isn't it? Because most people would probably want to be able to speak every language in the world with a click of their fingers, but that's never going to happen. And a lot of people obviously have tried to learn a language, but probably give up quite early on, don't they? So how do you stay motivated?
It's like I say in my book, it's like going to the gym. If you go for 2 weeks in a row, you're going to burn out. But if you do it, maybe 3 times a week and, you'll stay motivated by doing little by little. That's how I started. And I talk about it in the book and in the course that you can just do little by little, 10 minutes a day, then 20 minutes a day, then 30 minutes a day. And it just snowballs, a snowball effect.
Now, you mentioned that you kind of share your story. So what is your story?
Yeah, so I actually started officially when I was 12 years old that I wanted to learn Spanish. And I didn't learn Spanish by the time I was 13, but years, going to school, but then watching TV in Spanish. And I bought a course when I was 12. It used cassettes. Back in those days, we had cassettes. We didn't even have CDs. So, I listened to the cassettes. And like I said, it just did 10 minutes a day. Then when I was 17, I said, okay, now let's try Portuguese.
Wow.
And so yeah. And so just little by little.
And I think a lot of people who have learnt at least 2 other languages other than their native one often say that once you learn the first one, it gets easier. I suppose especially going from Spanish to Portuguese because they're quite similar because they're next to each other. Was that your experience as well?
Yeah. The funny thing, by the time I was 17, the Portuguese course, it was with a CD, and I popped in the CD. And once I listened to the first conversation, I said to myself, wow, I understand 90% of what they're saying. So that just motivated me to even move on, a little bit more. So to continue even more. So it's like you get that motivation when you talk to someone or you hear someone and you get a good response from them, and you just have to keep pushing. That's what I like to say. Keep pushing with the languages.
And for somebody who wants to learn a language, which one would you recommend they start out with that's maybe the easiest? And maybe does it depend on the country they're in? Because I suppose if you're in Europe, it might make sense to learn French, whereas if you're in America, maybe it makes more sense to learn Spanish.
Yeah, I would say start out with the one, whatever you're passionate about, but I would say maybe Spanish or French if you're in Europe or United States, because those are the languages that are, very like the closest to English. Yeah. But I would say whatever piques your curiosity. If you want to, go to Indonesia one day, start learning Indonesian, use YouTube. That's what I'd like to talk about. Use YouTube as an example. Type in Indonesian TV or Indonesian news, and then you'll get access to it. You get that free access.
And there's a lot of, maybe not courses as such, but programs and apps you can use to help learn a language. So what do you think makes your course and the book as well, I suppose, different from all these options that people have?
Well, thanks for asking me that question. Number one, with the course, the unique thing about my course is that it's presented in 3 different languages, and the 3 languages I speak. So it's presented in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. So let's say you have a friend, for example, and they want to learn Spanish and they want to be motivated. They can take my course and not only hear me in English talk and giving them motivation, but hear me in Spanish giving that motivation. So it's kind of like they're getting, the extra push, that extra motivation in two languages. And also I would just say buy books, use Amazon. Amazon is a big, bookstore, which is online. Just use that, buy books in the language, and then you get to read, and you might end up liking some of the literature or anything that you find there.
Yeah. And why should somebody actually learn a language? Because most people in their day-to-day lives don't have to come across somebody who speaks in a different language to them. It's useful when you go abroad, of course, but most people maybe only do that once or twice a year.
Yeah, you should learn a language because it's kind of like a mental exercise in my mind. It's like it keeps you sharp, and then it's cool to learn new things, and you figure out, oh, this word is similar to the word in English, or it's just a fun exercise. It's kind of like the game Sudoku or something. You try to figure out something, and then you eventually get good at it. And so I think it's just a great opportunity for people, especially us as English speakers, to just branch out and try new things. And then you get to see things from a foreigner's perspective.
When people do the course, is there a kind of end point, or could you kind of be always sort of improving your language skills, if you see what I mean?
Yeah, you're always improving. The unique thing about my course, like I said, it's at ajtutor.com, ajtutor.com. We have a learning community too, where you get to talk to other people around the world, and you get to, post your questions, and I'm able to answer those questions. You get to give other people feedback. So that's, it's great. So it's this big community. It's called the Bilingual Secrets Club. So to have the opportunity to talk to people from other countries and just people that, are in your same shoes, it's just great. So, it's continuous. It's just like anything in life. You want to go in the gym, you want to stay in the gym. You don't want to stop doing that. You just want to continue to keep your body in shape. And then with the language, you want to keep your mind in shape too.
Do you get the opportunity to kind of have conversations with people in that language as well? Because I think sometimes you can feel pretty confident in a language, you know what words mean and stuff. But then when you go on holiday, you have to speak to somebody. You're like, what did they say?
Yeah. I mean, like I said before, it's just little by little. Even, I was in Portugal a couple months ago, and just saying the small phrases like, hi, how are you? And hola, bom dia, and just talking to people. It really puts a smile on that person's face, even if they don't know that much English, or let's say they do know English, then it just creates like more friendships or more openness with the locals. And so it's just a great opportunity for people to learn a second language.
Now, where are you at the moment in your language journey? Because you mentioned you speak Spanish and Portuguese. Are you working on any other languages to learn at the moment?
Yes. Actually, I've been learning French for the last 4 years. So I didn't put French in the course because I didn't want to be speaking something that I wasn't, 100% comfortable with. But I am learning French, and I think I know it to a good enough level. Actually, when I was in Portugal last month, I was able to speak French with two ladies from Quebec because I heard them speaking French, and we talked in French for like 10 minutes. So it was cool. Just so little things like that. You never know when you're going to hear someone speaking the language, even if you do speak it at a very basic level.
So if you had to summarize your French in one word in French, what would you pick? Would it be génial or nul?
Incroyable, I would say.
Right.
Incredible or something like that. Yeah.
Nice choice.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, where can we find your course and, of course, your book and everything you'd want us to find? Is it just all on ajtutor.com?
So ajtutor.com is the course, but then the book is bilingualsecrets.com. You could type that in, and then it will take you to the book on Amazon. I have an ebook, and I have a paperback version as well. So if you want to just read it via ebook, you can do that. If you want to do paperback version, you can order that too. But yeah, ajtutor.com is the best place to talk to me and be able to be a part of the community with everyone else.
Brilliant. Well, many thanks for joining us. It's been great talking to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it.